Hello and welcome back to the Medusas. It's time for more adventure, time for a formal party. And where did we leave off? Who's gonna rep on that? You guys made it. You made it to the Mantirum, and you made it to the fortified city of Zidmare. And you were kind of like walking around, checking it out. It's a very magical city. And in the evening, out for a stroll, you came upon a plaza where there was all sorts of entertainment, and you encountered a elegant noblewoman, a blue-skinned tiefling by the name of Lady Arlba, who invited you to a party she was throwing. You guys got to the party, and you entered this beautiful estate with this gorgeous manor and perfectly manicured landscaping and gardens and fountains and magical dancing colored lights and music and wonderful food. And then Lady Arlba came out from her home and welcomed everyone to the party. And then she introduced her most esteemed guest. And after that introduction, a sight that you've never seen, a silver-skinned tiefling emerged from her home wearing the most elegant robes. He was introduced as none other than Akbar Azorn of House Azorn. Judging, without even making an insight check, just judging from the reactions of everyone around you, this is someone of incredible prestige. And that's kind of where we left off. So after his introduction and people cheering and applauding at his arrival, the home is opened, the manor is opened, and people start kind of going into the manor. And there's more food and music and drinks and servants, all over the place, providing all sorts of elegant enjoyment for everyone. So with that, you guys see this kind of parade of people starting to enter the manor. You guys kind of follow along and go in. What do you do now?
Did you guys know that silver-skinned tieflings existed?
No.
Yeah, no.
Cool, me neither.
I thought you would know that. You're the one that's literally from here.
But not everything. I mean, I know some customs, but not the whole history in that.
So remember that from what you know of Amity, his family left the Mantirum when he was a small child. So he really doesn't have any personal recollection of the Mantirum.
I think we should check this out.
Maybe it's a crazy tattoo.
It's every bit of his skin that you guys were able to see from like 50 feet away. But as you enter the manor, there's basically a foyer that opens up, and everybody seems to be funneling into this great room, which when you enter, it's almost like a ballroom. It has this enormous open space with columns that support this like 50-foot tall ceiling. And it's open to the second floor. So you see that there's like a balcony that goes entirely around on the second floor looking down on the ballroom. And there are already like people up there mingling. There's like a stage that's set up with like an incredible like orchestral ensemble. There's servers milling around offering hors d'oeuvres and drinks. And you just see this huge variety of people. Most of the tieflings that you see in attendance are blue or red-skinned tieflings. You do see a few purple-skinned tieflings. And far across the room, kind of in his own corner and surrounded by admirers, is Akbar Azorn. And you see he's like talking to a few people, and you see mixed in among his admirers are some humans and some elves who, judging by their clothing, look like they might be from other countries, even like possibly Kabul Kailish, Parmia, Hootsi, Malakun. But you see quite a few kind of dignitaries around this esteemed person.
Where's Lady Arlba?
She's not by Master Azorn. She's like kind of milling about, almost like just briefly greeting everyone. It seems very almost like an obligation, like a social obligation. She's literally kind of like making the rounds to different clusters of people and walking up and like bowing and smiling and chatting with them, and then she moves on after like 30 seconds to the next one. So you see like a lot of movement from her.
Okay. So what's the game plan here?
We could talk to Lady Arlba. She seems pretty cool.
I really want to talk to her.
We should then.
What should we discuss with her if we want information around here?
I don't know.
Well, you could discuss with any of these people in general, I believe we were trying to see if there was some magic user or wizard-like person that could, or even historian maybe, that might be able to help us figure out what exactly we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking for any kind of magic user who will be able to help us discern the nature of a very magical object that we possess?
Yeah, as well as just even a general scholar that might be able to help if we give them some of the tidbits of information about the volcano and the coast and such.
Can someone point me in the direction of some alcohol, please?
As you're even thinking that, one of House Arlba's servants, and by the way, you find it interesting that the servants are kind of a mix of tieflings who are kind of more like golden skinned, like yellow skinned and orange skinned tieflings, and they're all wearing the same uniforms, which makes it easy to identify them. And you like, as you're thinking it, somebody passes by with a tray, and they have goblets of wine, and then there's another person who is walking around with like a cask of ale and has like an assistant who is just carrying mugs. So there's drinks and food, like literally you don't even have to go anywhere. Like they literally bring it to you.
One cast, please.
The servant like looks at you and is stunned briefly and is like, yes, my lord. And they hand you this cask, and then they like turn around and walk away towards the kitchens. You guys notice that quite a few people are kind of looking at you as a group. Specifically, you get the impression that they don't see a lot of Goliaths because they seem to be kind of casually trying to like make eye contact with Bullstrong and Areia. Capella and Magnus, you don't seem to draw too many stares. You notice quite a few humans and elves and even halflings and dwarves and stuff like kind of mixed in with the crowd of people. But no matter what race you come across in this vast ballroom, everyone is dressed to the nines. Like everybody is well dressed. Everybody looks like a noble or a wealthy person, a merchant of some kind, like jewelry, high quality clothing. Very few people have weapons. You notice that like there are some people who have like, a sword at their side or a dagger, that kind of stuff, but like very few people seemed to be armed. But at the same time, nobody seems to think twice about the fact that you've walked in with your own weapons and stuff.
Okay, so no one sees this as like a threat or anything, right?
It would not appear to be like of any concern. It's as if the other thing that you notice is that there are not guards. Like there are not armed guards, which is something that you have seen in other situations where you've been around the nobility. You don't, it's like there's no, armed soldier type guards.
Okay, so Lady Arla?
Yeah, I'm gonna like link my arm with Magnus, and we're gonna make our way over. Not like just beelining it, but you know how in a party you're kind of like talking to somebody, but you're like moving closer to the person that you're trying to talk to.
Strategically like kind of approaching. So you actually see her talking with a group of like 3 or 4 people, a couple elves, a couple humans, and one purple-skinned tiefling who looks a little bit younger, but also immaculately well-dressed. So you guys kind of make your way over there, and she at a certain point like turns and sees you, and she's like, my guests. She's like, welcome. So tell me, what do you think of the party tonight?
It was absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for inviting us.
Yeah, thank you. This is the grandest party I've ever been to.
Yes, indeed. And then she turns to the purple-skinned tiefling and she's like, I'm sorry. And then she looks back at you and she's like, how rude of me. Allow me to introduce my son. This is Magnus. And she points to the purple-skinned tiefling of House Bonnie. And the young purple-skinned tiefling like extends his hand and bows to you, and every finger on his hand is dripping in gold rings, and like he has like a gold necklace, like just loaded with jewelry, gold bracers on his wrists, and he's like, it is my pleasure.
Nice to meet you, Magnus. My name is also Magnus.
Interesting. So, my mother says that you are visitors here to Zemanek. I am myself here to visit my mother and pay respects to Master Azor. It is not too often that I have the time to come and visit Zidmer. I'm usually quite preoccupied with my family's business affairs.
I see. What do you do as a business?
We control several gold and silver mines to the north.
Well, that's quite lovely. And so, why might Master Azorn bring you here?
He has not requested my presence. It is I who am honored to be in his presence. It is not that often that a noble house such as House Arlba has the opportunity to entertain a member of one of the original families. So, Mother, you'll excuse me, please, but I do wish to speak to a few associates from Parmia who are visiting. So, it was my pleasure to meet all of you. And he nods, bows again, and he walks back. You then see Lady Arlba say, "So, tell me, my friend," and she gestures to Areia, and she's like, "Are your people, are they from any of the areas of the Vast which are close to or bordering the Mantirum, or do you come from the Western Vast?"
Well, my people are sort of more nomadic than others, but we have taken up residence as of late towards the southeastern side of the Vast, right on the edge of the Mantirum and Togatagi.
I see.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And have you traveled very much in recent months?
Yes, actually, I've been away from my tribe for many a month now. I've been traveling with my companions here for quite some time. We've sort of been all over the place, sightseeing and such.
See. Well, if there is anything that I can do to make your stay here in Zidmare more comfortable, or perhaps be of assistance, please do let me know. I am honored to provide hospitality.
Thank you. I was actually wondering if we could hear a little bit more about Zidmir and Master Azorn.
Ah, yes. And she looks over, you see she like looks over to the corner where he's entertaining people. And she's like, "Well, I'm not sure how familiar you are with our society, but the noble houses are drawn together and support the Mantirum through a pact. And the formation of the Mantirum and its very structure, its laws, are all centered around this agreement that draws in these families. And it is that system which has served us well for thousands of years. But House Azorn is one of the original families. There were three noble families. Of course, House Dumneziu, which is the house of our most high leader, the leader of the Mantirum himself, Vrajator Dumneziu. His house and House Azorn and House Baelor they were the three original houses. And they, through the pact, came to an agreement with the five upper noble houses to create the Mantirum. And it is that treaty and that agreement which has sustained our noble magocracy for as long as it has. My house, of course, House Arlba, is one of the older lower houses. And we have, for at least several centuries, we have maintained our home here in Zidmare, but we do have other residences in some of the other cities and towns in the Mantirum. My son that you met, Magnus, his father was from House Bani. And so, as you can see, he is now part of House Bani. Make an insight check.
Insight?
Yeah.
Should I make one too?
Yeah, you guys are both there.
Oh God, that's a 7.
19.
So Areia, you noticed like when she was explaining that last part, that she like her eyes kind of darted both ways, like she seemed a little nervous maybe sharing that information with you, or you almost felt like what she was telling you might be kind of intimate, not necessarily secret, but just personal.
Okay.
Is Magnus's father here?
He is no longer with us.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear.
Yes, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yes, it was quite some time ago. But
But still.
my son has done very well for himself in House Bonnie, and I could not be more proud of his legacy. And she's like, "Excuse me, please," and she turns away.
Oh no.
Oh.
You notice it's a rare thing, because she kind of broke from the etiquette that you've previously seen, where they back away while maintaining eye contact with you before turning. You could see that she was visibly like shook, and she like did the turn before she backed away.
I didn't mean to make her feel bad. I feel really bad now.
She like kind of moves through the crowd, and you guys see her kind of go off. All right, cut back to the other three. So Bullstrong, you and Capella and Amity are kind of sitting around in a cluster together, and you notice that several people pass by, and like when they're bringing hors d'oeuvres and drinks, and you notice that they always go to Amity first with offerings, and then they like turn to you two.
Just so you guys know, I'm gonna be eating way more than this guy, so I would just keep coming to me if you got any drinks or food.
They like look nervously at you, as if the fact that you can even talk scares them. So they're like, yeah, yes, yes, of course. And they like look up at you, and they return later with more hors d'oeuvres. So
Do they
what are you
have
guys
any-
doing?
What was that they said that Goliath seeded? Dwarf brains? Goblin
Ooh.
brains?
No, I don't need that.
Well, we should try to do some kind of socializing. I don't
Yes.
know. You're probably the one that's gonna be doing most of the talking, since you seem to be special, so.
But I'm great at talking.
Oh, I'm sure of it. But
Oof.
if you could, we can go around with you, but we just need to chat up with some people. You know, the casual, however it is, the how do you do, what do you do, and if we can find someone from the area that's some kind of scholarly whatever, maybe we can get an invitation at some time for them to be able to talk with us more and help you with your research project.
Yes, that is important. We should do it. And I think we should go towards the entertainment section.
Okay.
Mm.
You guys start kind of walking over a little closer to the stage. The music's just very nice, like pure kind of like melodies and harmonies interplaying between these very strange instruments that you're seeing. There are a lot of very interesting woodwinds that are part of this orchestral group that you've never, like, that have very interesting designs, like that you've never seen in Kabul Kailash or in other places. And then there's a huge string section as well. But you guys kind of start moseying over there, and you are approached basically walking directly up to Amity by a young purple-skinned male tiefling who is just immaculately dressed. He has like a beautiful golden necklace, golden bracers around his wrists, gold rings on each finger. And he walks over and he does a bow, and he's like, "Greetings."
Greetings to you, too.
Nice chain.
He looks at you, Bullstrong, And he goes, "You must be the friends of Magnus, and was it Areia? Was
Yes,
that her name?
yes, correct.
You are most welcome. I am Magnus of House Bani.
Mm.
My mother is Lady Arlva."
You're not Magnus. I know Magnus.
There's more than one Magnus.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
your elven friend shares the same name. So, what do you make so far of our powerful city, Zidmer?
it's very rich in taste.
Yes,
Powerful?
I am happy to be able to come and visit, although I do not live here anymore. I was raised in
Mm.
Zidmer.
That's very interesting. What about what you do now?
I am in the business of gold. So I was not able to speak for very long with your friends, but you are from what house? And he's looking at you, Amity.
Uh,
I'm from Valvnum, the House of Valvnum.
I have to see if he knows that name.
Mhm.
He's like, "I apologize. I'm not familiar with that family, but
Oh.
you are welcome here."
Thank you. That's appreciated of you.
Have you had an opportunity to pay your respects yet to Master Azorn?
Not yet, but we wish very deeply to do so as soon as possible.
He looks confused when you say that. He's like, you will be paying your respects, not with them."
Not with my friends.
them? I have a name, sir.
He's like, "My apologies, my foreign friends. It is not of our customs for foreigners to address a member of one of the original houses. This is not done here, but it is customary for one such as your friend," and he gestures to Amity, to pay respects to one of the original houses. You have a gift, yes?
Uh,
You have a gift for Master Azon.
Not at the moment.
Oh, jeez.
None of you have to roll insight. You could just visibly see his shock and disgust. He's like, "I see. Excuse me," and he backs away 3 feet, and then
Well, I think we made a great first impression.
This is what I mean. All of you guys and your gifts, everyone, gift this, gift that.
They have rich taste. That's why I left.
So, what are you gonna do now?
What is in our pocket? What did we
Yeah,
bring
that's-
with us? What
uh,
would we have brought with us?
Would a performance count?
I don't think so.
It might.
might-
Well,
Why don't you make a? I'll tell you what. You make a history check to see if you have ever heard of anything culturally that the people of the Mantirum would feel about that.
maybe Amity should make.
Yeah,
Could Amity attempt that?
Could Amity do that history check?
Yeah.
Sure.
Bullstrong
yeah,
doesn't know
yeah.
about this.
I kind of got like a 1 on that, so I'd love it if he did it.
16.
That's better.
So here's what you know. you know that the nobles of the Mantirum do appreciate good art. And that includes music, you know, all of the arts in all forms.
Hmm.
The emphasis being on good. So you feel like a performance could be a gift, but it would have to be hella spectacular. It would have to be, because you're looking at the performance of the small symphonic orchestra that's before you right now, and they are the most talented musicians you've ever heard. So you feel like if Bullstrong's idea is to play a bone drum, it better be the greatest performance that anybody's ever known. But then again, you also know that the nobles of the Mantirum are intrigued by foreign things, as is evidenced by their awe and interest in the Goliaths that you've seen so far.
Okay. So like a thing from their tribe possibly or something?
Maybe.
Okay.
I am trained in the art of skull percussion. It is the way of my people, and it will be a wonderful educational experience for them if they are willing to learn.
Bullstrong, this is no offense against you or your people, but I've seen sometimes your ideas can be a bit much. And I'm just saying, I don't know how well you play your bone instruments, but I really would rather not offend the royalty of a foreign land that we're in by you boofing your drum percussion.
Could be culturally and entertaining because maybe they never experienced it firsthand.
They do seem like the kind of people that would love to laugh at some sort of minority failing in front of them. They could all be like, ha ha ha, the Goliath, look at him.
It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I could just claim that it's a comedy routine if it goes poorly.
Is that our only option, Capella?
Well,
That's my only
I'm looking, you know, this dress doesn't really have pockets, so it's outside from our weapons, which really aren't that valuable. I don't think Bullstrong wants to instantly give up the orc smasher that he just got.
Yeah.
But if all else fails, you're the one that's going to look like a bad tiefling, so
This is a tricky situation.
is there anything else we would have like brought with us, or we literally just brought?
I would say that anything that you could reasonably be carrying in your finery would be acceptable.
Hmm.
Around this time, as you guys are discussing this, Areia and Magnus kind of walk back over to you. You guys are about like 30 feet away from the stage where the orchestra is playing, and like 50 feet away through the crowd from the cluster where you see kind of like Master Azorn holding court. And you see basically like people kind of like come up and bow and they speak to him, and you see people like kind of hand him things, and quite often it's like jewelry or like an object, like it's a small sculpture or like a painting. And on other times it's like a scroll or a book or a small wooden box, and he like opens it up and like nods and smiles. And so it's almost like people are like going up and kind of giving him things. Now if you were closer, you could kind of see more of what's happening if you wanted to kind of get an idea.
Hey guys, how'd
Hey,
it go?
What we
so
miss.
I don't know if you heard any information from the noble lady over there, but this is another one of those times when we were supposed to bring a gift.
Awesome.
You know, if I was aware, we could have picked up like a bottle of wine on the way, stopped at the bakery. I don't know, but
I'm thinking in the
Everybody's
future.
bringing him like immaculate sculptures, and we're like, "Hey, we got you a bottle of champagne and some bread."
Here's some wine.
like a dinner party. But other than that, from what we heard from the other Magnus, we're gonna look, or at least Amity's gonna look really bad if he doesn't go up to him, which by the way, like we can't, being foreigners, go up to the silver dude.
That
Yeah.
If
makes
he doesn't
sense.
go up to the silver dude, like pay his respects and give him something neat, then he'll kind of look like a bad tiefling. So
What if?
far the only thing we've had is they like foreign things and performances, so maybe some scary foreign Goliaths could do a performance for them.
I mean, I have. Well, you have your drums, right, Bullstrong?
See, I don't think I brought them with me. However, I can improvise with just about any drum-like object and a stick.
What about
I might be able to help with that. Because-
foreign animals putting on a show?
A pet show?
You're gonna give him your spider? Because I'm not
I'm
giving
not-
up my hedgehog.
I will not give him Parwis. But
Give him-
Parwis could put on a show.
You could offer the
What-
exoskeleton.
What if we like?
Offer him the exoskeleton.
A thing.
What if we combined those ideas? And what if?
We could all
Oh
contribute.
wait, Bullstrong, do you have your bird with you? Do you think you'd be carrying like the little cage with your little tiny bird with you?
I would say that if I didn't, I could open a window and call him. I taught him a really nice call that, no other person would ever think of yelling ever. So if I stick my head out the window, I can call him if I need.
Okay. And do the birds that you call, are they able to like chirp on command or something like that?
My bird, he can, yes.
Because if you call your bird, you can like play the drums with the bird chirping with you, and I, with my like spell crafting stuff, I can sort of enhance your performance. Like make cool stuff happen in the room while it's going on. And maybe
So we're
that
doing an entire musical.
we could do an entire exotic performance with the two of us.
I did
But only if
train.
we think that works. I mean, what if it doesn't?
And Amity looks dumb. That's all.
Then we just look like a bunch of fools randomly trying to play Goliath music at a
Be
fancy party.
shunned.
I don't want to look like a fool. I already made Lady Arba sad, and I feel bad about it.
But if we do good, then we'll look really cool, and then we could get more information because he'll be like, "You guys are pretty cool," and we could socialize more. Because either way, we have to do something, and we don't have anything else. I think, like, again, if somebody would have known a little more about Tiefling culture.
Maybe we should just bring gifts with us everywhere we go, and then we'll never have this problem ever.
We really should.
But other than that, we could just all contribute to this little performance. Amity will walk up there and be like, "Hey, look at these freaks I met in a foreign land. Let's watch their weird little percussions and creatures."
I'll convince him that it's like a gesture, like comedy skit.
Like
It's not supposed to be good.
No, but I think you guys, I think we have a shot here of making it good, because I have a spell that I know that can enhance his ability to perform well, and then during the performance or whatever, I have like my thaumaturgy magic that I can use to like make the lights in the room change or make his drums sound louder. Like it could be like a whole tribal thing, you know.
Mhm.
Would
We'll have the
people-
animals run around him. It'll be a little like a miniature circus.
Yeah, it could. Well, not a circus. That's so rude. Not a circus, but like the way at our tribe we would do, you know, people would dance and people would play and people would sing.
Would people be amazed by magic, or would they be like, "Yeah, we're over that"? Like,
You get the sense that magic is very prevalent, almost ubiquitous. You see magic all around you right now. The
Yeah.
entire
There's
room is
genuinely a
illuminated
magi.
by dancing lights and floating globes of soft light, and the music of the symphony seems to be like perfectly balanced.
dang it.
Yeah. Well, magic's
We
pretty
might have been
common.
able to get away with that in tribal land, but
But
just
you
because
have
magic's common doesn't mean that it wouldn't be something.
Goliath magic.
Cool.
How much Goliath magic do they got here?
well, that's the thing. You guys have not seen a single Goliath in the entire city, let alone in this ballroom.
Because I have some spells, but I don't think they would want anything to do with any of them. I could do fire tricks. That's about all I could do.
Magnus, with your enormous passive perception, you notice the other Magnus of House Bonnie is now like stepping up to do his presentation. So you see him like out of the corner of your eye, and you look, you see him approach Master Azorn, and he like bows deeply and holds out like a mahogany, like long mahogany box, wooden box. And you see Master Azorn open it up. He reaches in and he pulls out what looks like a wooden stick, like a nicely carved stick. And he kind of like twirls it around a little bit, and he's like, puts it back in the box. And he hands it to what looks to you like an assistant. You see like a human man, and the human man takes it and sets it down onto a table that's like full of other gifts, right? Make an intelligence check, Magnus. Straight intelligence check.
That was horrible. That was a 9.
The human like assistant looks familiar, but you can't quite place him. He's very well dressed and like clean shaven and well groomed.
We know this guy?
He looks familiar, but you can't quite place him.
Okay, I'm gonna share this with everyone. The whole like him giving him a wooden stick. What would the wooden stick be, guys? Like a wand or
Yeah,
You
I
have
mean,
Arcana, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you figure that's what it was.
okay. So he gave him a wand. Oh wait, I have a wand. I have a wand. Don't I?
you do.
I have
You
a wand.
the
I have a
missile
wand. I can do it. I can do the thing.
Yes.
I can give him a wand. Do you want the wand?
Yeah, we can give him the missile wand.
Okay, you can take the missile wand.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna.
and
All right, wait. Since I attuned to it, I don't have to do
I
anything to give it
feel
away, do I?
useless.
No.
Okay, then I'm just gonna. Here you go, Amity. Here's the wand.
Thank you.
don't worry, if he doesn't like the wand, we have a real great backup
Oh,
plan.
the backup
Mhm.
plan
We
is so
do.
solid.
I think that you are being a little overcritical of this plan.
I have envisioned before the nobles of an area being not really thrilled with the gift that we've given them and wanted significantly more. I don't know if you remember this scenario, but I mean, that time it was our lives at risk. This time it's just Amity kind of looking like a not a great
Yeah, in our tribe, it was a
Still.
matter of honor and life and death. Here, it's just who has the shiniest stuff, and that's
Yeah.
kind of stupid.
Following that, as you guys are like talking, Magnus, again, with your enormous passive perception, you see Magnus Bonnie you see him like walk through the crowd, and he approaches his mother, Lady Arlba. And you notice he like takes her hand in his, and like they kiss each other on the cheek on each side. And then he bows and like walks back 3 steps and then turns. And you see him like kind of heading back towards the front door as if he's leaving.
Oh. Guys, we should go catch him before he's leaving. Not like catch him, but you know what I mean.
Just
Like,
think of a really good question to ask him that you totally need to be asked right now.
guys, what would that be? What's a good question?
We already kind of insulted him, so
Okay, I'm just gonna
Ask
go
him
up
if he
to
knows
him.
any scholars or anything like that. If he's well connected.
Okay, does anyone want to come with me?
I guess
Amity?
I'll go with you if you want to. I think Amity already insulted his
Yeah, right to
honor.
Fair. All right, let's go. All right, so I'm gonna come up to other Magnus.
So you kind of start making your way through the crowd to catch up to him, and you kind of you intersect with him about 20 feet before the door to exit the ballroom. And he turns to see you and he's like, "Ah, greetings once again."
Greetings. Leaving so soon?
Yes, it is. I have paid my respects to Master Azorn, and now I must head back to the north and attend to some matters related to my family.
I see. Best of luck with all of your family matters. Before you go, could we ask you a quick question?
Certainly.
We have a magical item, and we were wondering if we could bring it to anyone here. Is there anyone you could refer us to?
He looks around the room and he's like, there are many people who can identify a magic item. Is it any number of shops as well in the city offer such services? I myself could identify it.
Do we bring it to him? Should we bring it to him?
I think we just keep him in mind for now.
He's like, again, that is not a difficult challenge. I'm sure if you asked my mother, she would be happy to help. She is also a more than competent wizard.
I see. Thank you very much for your help. Sorry, I'm not very used to your people and your ways as I am a traveler, so thank you for educating me on this. I appreciate your help.
It is my honor. Good
Yes,
evening.
thank you.
Thank you.
Steps away, bows. You see he leaves the building.
Okay, I say that later when the night sort of is settling down, I say that we try talking to Lady Arlba again.
Absolutely.
When am I performing again?
Yeah, Bullstrong, are we performing still? Big party?
I think you guys just kind of want to perform regardless.
Yeah.
So after a little bit more time, you notice that, you know, again, almost like a regular thing, right? There's like several tables filling up with gifts. You notice like maybe 10 minutes later, another one of the very few purple-skinned tieflings has paid his respects and leaves. And you kind of see that the majority of people in the ballroom now are red-skinned or blue-skinned tieflings who are obviously nobles of some kind, as well as the House Arlba like servants who are a mix of yellow and orange-skinned tieflings as well. And then a variety of guests of numerous different racial backgrounds.
Amity, should you give your wand to Lord now?
I think it's time. Although I don't know what to say. I think I'll stumble up in my words and fall on my face.
Let's practice right now.
All right.
So what do you want to say to him? What are we hoping to get out of this?
A likability factor for me.
Okay.
Also,
We
like,
Appreciates my gestures and stuff.
who is this guy actually, and what does he do? Because we don't really know anything about him besides like he's
Well,
a noble.
according to Lady Arlba, he's one of the members of like the 3 original houses that are like the most powerful people. Like one of them is the kind of ruler of the magocracy, and then he's another one. So he's like super important, I guess.
Okay.
I think you should tell him that you're honored to be in his presence.
I want more
Thank
of
you
a
for a
lasting
wonderful night.
impact. Everyone
Um,
probably said the same thing. I want to make a different,
Are you trying to like
presence,
get something out of him? Like, are you trying to persuade him or anything to?
more or less, for information. Because, like you said, he's one of the 3 houses that made the Magocracy. So if we have him on our side, then maybe we could get like, I don't know,
Okay.
safety and stuff.
Areia, it occurs to you as you're kind of like looking at out of the corner of your eye the procession of people who are bringing gifts and presenting themselves, that it seems like all of the purple-skinned tieflings are now gone, and now it looks like blue-skinned and red-skinned tieflings are kind of lining up. And there are other people, non-tieflings, who are kind of in the area, sort of watching, almost like spectators, and also people on the second floor balcony overlooking, that all of whom are like, watching while all the socializing is still going on. But there's you notice that like there's a kind of a repeated pattern where the presenter would go up and do their bow and then like introduce themselves and offer a gift, and then they would be like, the gift would be like examined and acknowledged, and the person would be acknowledged, and then they would step back, bow, and then walk away. So this continual cycle. With your insight, you kind of notice that there's a pattern to this. It doesn't look like anybody's going up and like hanging out with the guy and like having in-depth conversations.
Okay. Do I also notice, did Magnus point out the person who looked familiar, like his assistant or something?
yeah.
Okay. Can I see if I recognize, if Magnus said they looked familiar, can I see if I see them?
Oh, the assistant to Master Azorn?
Yeah, the one that
Yes.
looked familiar.
Yep.
What kind of check would that be?
Just intelligence. It's memory.
$12.
Looks familiar, but there's something looks familiar, but you just can't place how you know him. Like very impeccably well dressed, clean shaven, tidy hair, but you just can't quite place it. Now, Magnus, did you tell anybody other than Areia about that?
I think once I rejoined with the group, I told everyone, right?
Okay. I'll tell you what, I'm going to let the other 3 of you each make a straight intelligence check to see if you can recall this information.
Yeah, make it.
What's with our rolls today, guys?
16.
Wouldn't it be a 12?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a 1, so I don't know anything.
12.
You got a 16,
Yep.
Amity?
Mhm.
So the human helper, you're looking at him and you're like, God, why is that face familiar? But it's just out of place. And then it occurs to you that you have seen that guy before, but he was a lot more scruffy looking, and he was wearing armor, and he was kind of greasy and had like a shadow of a beard from not shaving. And it occurs to you that he was one of the 2 guards that was guarding Baron Arzak.
Bro.
But you think it's the nicer guard, like the one that wasn't belligerent against Bullstrong. But you're looking at him and you're like, wow, he really cleans up well. Like he's in this, perfect like brocade tunic with like fine, stitching, and he's clean shaven and his hair is combed neatly and he's wearing like leather boots. And but you look at the face closer and you're like, I think that's one of those 2 guards that was. So
You want to share this information?
Oh yes.
Share this.
I don't know if it's my vision right now, but I believe we remember that person based on what I've seen and heard from Magnus. I think it's one of the guards, the Baron that we encountered and had a little fight over. Yeah, it's the nicer one, I believe, but we can
Guys,
go
we can get
talk
Trizzle.
to him.
Yeah, maybe like, we gotta just, because we've been sitting here talking about like what we're doing for a while, and we still kind of got some little chit chat to do. So
We
maybe
could
once you
split.
talk to that, the silver dude and whoever, just pay respects and go. Then we can start trying to get some information about the Baron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think he's here. Hopefully not. But
Hopefully not.
Well, here's what I'm thinking is the plan.
Yeah.
You go up to the Lord, you bow, you introduce yourself, your name, you give him the wand, then you step back, and then later we can try to talk to the guard. Because I don't know that we'll get anywhere with like the most powerful person at this party. But we might be able to talk to that guard and apologize to him and be like, oh my God, we're so sorry. And then,
If he remembers us, though. I don't know if he
I'm
forgot.
quite sure that he'll
He did
remember
remember
the
me.
people
He
who
probably
almost
will.
killed
Maybe the
them.
bigger ones, but
So tell me how you're doing this. Like, how are you approaching? Who's going? How do you approach?
Can I explain, because I was like watching everybody do it, can I explain to Amity how I saw people going up and like
Yeah.
what they were doing?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just let you know what they were doing and like to just do that. And don't try to say anything else to him because it might not work out well.
like
So
what?
remember, you guys are about like 50 feet away right now. So is Amity just going up by himself and getting in line with the other like red and blue skinned tieflings? Or are you guys kind of going up closer with him, like the other spectators? Like describe how you're doing this.
I think we should kind of be spectating. So in case it kind of seems like the guy is offended, where he's like, oh, well, this wasn't like, oh, this is not what is required, then Amity could try to pull a fast one and be like, actually, I also had,
Mm-hmm.
just in case.
Oh, okay. All right. So Amity's going first and you guys are following them, like kind of closely behind. How far behind are you guys going to be?
We'll probably be like, I don't know, with
20 feet?
with the rest of the crowd of people. We won't go up with him, but we'll make it so that if he has to like point to us, that
Okay. All right. So you guys kind of move closer and Amity gets in line. You guys are like 15 feet back. He's like 10 feet away. He waits. While you're in line, Amity, you see like, a couple people that are ahead of you. One's like a blue-skinned noble female, and her turn comes. She goes up, she, bows, and she hands this scroll to Master Azorn, who like holds it up and like looks at it, and he's like, thank you. And then you you're getting a little closer, and then there's a red-skinned tiefling in front of you who walks up, bows, and pulls out this golden statue and hands it to Master Azorn. And you hear, because you're getting closer, you hear what the person before you says, and they introduce themselves, and they're, you know, I am Anas from House Frumusete. I am honored. And then hands the golden statue, and Master Azorn looks at it and he's like, ah, this is an exquisite piece. I am honored. Thank you and welcome. And then he hands it to the helper. So then it's that person then backs away and bows, and then basically you're up.
Mm-hmm.
So you see now that you're closer to this, just you're like in awe. Like his skin is silver, and it's like it's so pure. Like you can't even see pores in his skin. Like it is just pure. It's like a pure sheet of silver, and his clothing is like immaculate. And he's standing before you, and he's kind of like looking at you.
Okay. I bow and I say, I'm Amity from House Valvenum. Here's my gift, a wand. I present the wand. Yeah, I'll say a wand.
He takes the wand and looks at it, and he's like, ah, yes. Yes. Thank you. And he hands the wand to his assistant. He's like, tell me what brings you to Zidmare?
I am traveling.
So it would seem.
It
And
would.
is your family still living in Kabul Kailish then?
Not that I know of.
I see. All right, smash cut.
Yeah.
All of you guys are watching this, and you're like a little nervous because this like is taking longer than anybody else that's gone up. Like you notice that like Master Azorn's actually engaged in conversation, although because of the buzzy of conversation and the music in the background, you can't quite hear what they're talking about. Those of you with insight, make an insight check.
So,
Hence.
21.
Areia, it seems like Master Azorn is genuinely like interested in talking to Amity. Like he doesn't look annoyed. Smash cut back to Amity. He's like, by my recollection, your family had left the Manturum some 30 years ago and had immigrated to the south of Kabul Kailish. Is it not so?
I believe so. If it's on the record, then I believe. You're very intelligent.
He smiles. He's like, that is polite of you.
Thank you.
So, you have come to Zidmare for a visit, or have you returned to the Manturum?
For a visit for now, I am looking for information. That's all. Knowledge and stuff.
I see.
Mhm.
He's like, Rafe, and he turns to the guard, and he puts a finger out, and Rafe nods and reaches into his brocade tunic and pulls out a wooden rectangle, and he hands it to you, and he's like, this is my card. He's like, please, if you are in need of any assistance,
Oh, thank you.
I would be happy to provide hospitality.
That's so generous of you. Thank you.
He looks out to the crowd and he's like, welcome.
Thank you.
And he waits for you.
And
You
I-
back away and bow?
Yes, back away and bow.
Okay. The next person in line goes.
Amity, what was that?
I didn't expect
That
to get the
took very
talk.
long.
You walk back to the crowd, like 15 feet back, and you see your cluster of friends, and you rejoin them.
What took you so long? Did he not
I
like the gift?
Oh, you liked it. It just, I didn't expect to talk. I thought, what, based off your information, it would be fast and simple. And I got this card.
Because it
You
was
got
fast
his-
and simple with everyone.
Card.
Personal card?
Why did he give you his card?
Entertained by me or something? I don't know.
But like, why was he entertained by like specifically you? Like, no offense, you are entertaining, but I'm just wondering, like,
Yeah, there's like millions here, and
Did he know who you were?
yes, he took an interest in my family history.
how?
Wait, but nobody knows your
Why?
family history. How does this guy know your
Right.
family history?
It's like, I don't know.
It must be pretty interesting if he knows it.
Yeah.
But like, nobody we've run into so far has been like, oh yes, I know of your house. They've been like, oh, we don't know those peeps.
I'm
Thanks
from
though.
a lower
Like,
noble, so I don't.
Is it a good interesting?
that's a good question.
If it was bad, wouldn't you just kind of have him like taken away? I mean, he's probably like a pretty powerful guy, I would
know what,
imagine.
I know what we
Maybe
have to
My
do,
reputation
guys.
precedes me.
What do
We
have to-
need to research Amity's family. This is what we need to do
Yeah,
now.
I'm starting to get the idea.
To the
that-
library.
Family.
But I think, well, we have his card now, so I'm assuming that he's the one that we should go to if we wanted to find out information about our little artifact.
He is happy to help me, so we could.
But this went a lot better than I was expecting it to. Bullstrong and I were about to play the bongos up on stage.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
would've
still
liked
think
it,
that would have
probably.
been great.
I'm a little disappointed, actually.
We
For
can
what?
still do it.
So what do you guys want to do now? I still want to talk to
Oh,
Lady
yeah.
Arlo because I feel bad about making her
This-
sad.
Yeah, me too.
Well, we
That's all
still
can
need to get
do.
our other mingling done. It's always
The
good to
security
schmooze.
We
guy.
should still, talk to
Drizzle.
the guard guy if he has a free moment.
Mhm.
Or, I mean, I can imagine if you just ask these people around. Somebody, I mean, just because that one guy didn't know, somebody has to have some more information.
We could split and half of us go to Lady Arlba and half of us go to him, or we could all go to each of them.
What if you guys just go keep talking to your lady? Because that sort of seems like your guys think right now. I don't know if you're like, you have a thing for her, but you can go do that. And we'll continue our schmoozing.
Schmoozing.
It's like a plan.
Right.
You guys, so how are you gonna break off, and who's gonna do where or what?
So I think if I'm correct, you three will go to the guard, and Areia and I will go to Lady Arlba. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, let's do Lady Arlba first. So who's going to Lady Arlba? Okay, so you guys kind of have to like look through the crowd a bit to find her because she's still like mingling around, and you see her kind of talking to like this mixed group of nobles, like wealthy looking people. There are like a couple elves, humans, a dragonborn, and a dwarf, and she's kind of chatting with them. But you kind of wait your turn, and as she bows to them and is walking away, you see your opportunity to approach her, and she sees you, and she's like, "Ah, my friends, how are you enjoying the party? Did your friend have an opportunity to present himself to Master Azorn?
You did actually. Thank you for asking.
Splendid. And so, what can I do for you?"
I wanted to apologize for upsetting you earlier. I didn't mean to do that. I hope you've still had a great night.
She's like, "Speak nothing of it."
How has your night been otherwise?
It has been truly one of the greatest nights of my life and a true honor. Who just dipped?
Andria.
He'll be back.
Damn it, Andrea.
Now it's all
Plug in your phone. All right, Karafa's fixing the boxes. He can't fix the boxes until Andria comes back. Damn it, Andria.
It's just gonna look weird for everyone watching.
Well,
Good night, Karafa. I mean, really, that's in the end, that's all that matters, isn't it? No, just kidding. So she's like, how may I help you? What may I do to make your stay more hospitable here in Zidmer?
Areia?
I'm not quite sure, to be honest. I must admit this party is amazing and I feel very welcome here. And I appreciate your hospitality. I know in my own people as well that it is a very honorable thing.
Yes, I am quite honored to have such a wonderful showing of attendees here to the party, and it is truly a great honor to have you and your associate. It is not often that we receive visitors from any of the northern tribes.
I just wanted to ask you a quick question about our friend Amity. Do you know how he might be related to Master Azorn, or?
I do not. Unfortunately, I must apologize. I am not familiar with his family name. I'm sure I could better acquaint myself had I been expecting him, but his family name is not affiliated with any of the lower houses, and thus I am at unfortunately a lack for being able to be more hospitable to him and of any assistance.
That is quite all right. I just figured I would ask. Thank you for your help, though.
I'm given to understand that perhaps his family does not live anymore in the Mantirum, which could explain why I'm not familiar with his family's name.
Yes, they do not. But Master Azorn seemed to be somewhat acquainted with his family history, which is why I wanted to ask why someone of Master Azorn's caliber would be wondering.
Well, you, as an outsider, of course, would not understand this, but House Azorn is extremely gifted with divination. They are among the original families. They wield enormous power with regard to
again, steps away and bows. All right, cut to the other group. What are you guys doing? Rafa, somebody said the sound is
Yeah, I know. It's gonna come back.
Okay. I'll summarize when it comes to sound. Sound. We're having all sorts of technical issues.
It's delayed. It'll come back. It's there. Just keep going. Just keep going.
So, sound is back? All right, good. So basically what happened was you guys went and talked to Lady Areia. She explained to you that she does not know Amity's family name, and you said that Master Azorn seemed to know Amity's family name, and she explained to you that House Azorn is renowned for their prodigious ability with divination and all things related to knowledge. So it was not a surprise to her that Master Azorn would have known about some obscure family of tieflings who left from Antira. And yeah, so now back to the other group. Jennie. DJ.
So, we are going to be going up to the guard, I guess, and see if there's any way that we could get him to talk to us for a little bit.
Okay. You understand that he is like literally within 5 feet of Master Azorn. And he's currently working by taking gifts and setting them onto tables.
Well, this just seems like a poor decision. I don't really think there's any way we can interact with this man.
He does seem quite busy.
Well, if Amity were here, he could like telepathy talk to him.
He could. As you guys are kind of thinking about and discussing what you wanted to do, you, Bullstrong, you get jostled by somebody like passing through the crowd behind you. And there are a lot of people, so like it's really tightly packed. You get jostled by somebody passing behind you. And as you kind of like look over your shoulder, you look down and you see a human man.
Oh my god.
Also clean shaven and well dressed, immaculately well dressed in a brocade tunic. And he looks up at you and he's like, "Oi, don't I know you somewhere?"
Oh my god.
Nope.
He's like, and then he looks at Capella. He looks back at you and he's like, "I don't see your kind around here very much. You look familiar."
Nope.
Just another Goliath traveling with an Aasimar. It's really common.
Make a deception check.
Yeah, that's why
That was
that's
sarcastic.
why I kept my word choice very limited.
Oh yeah. That's
You
an
got
8.
this.
Well,
He's like, And then he just turns and walks away. You see him kind of walk over towards the stairwell that leads up to the second floor balcony that overlooks the ballroom.
Should we
And
follow him?
not
He keeps
alone.
walking.
Oh,
You see him
Over
walk
with-
up the stairs.
Let's go with Amity.
Okay.
You see he walks up the stairs and you see him like up on the second floor balcony. And you notice that he walks over to like a small group of people who are like drinking wine and talking. And he walks up to someone who you can't quite see because they're on the second floor. So they're like above you and they have their back turned to you. But he walks up to someone and like whispers something into someone's ear and then like walks away.
Dude,
The
that
person
Baron
that-
is up there.
The person that he whispered to seems to be kind of like with a slender build, but is wearing like a damask like cape. So it's like this silvery cape with like black roses on it, and like a hood. So you can't quite see the person, their facial features or anything.
We definitely gotta go.
But they
see
look
that.
very well dressed, and they're talking to like a group of 4 or 5 other people, none of whom are tieflings. They're all like humans. And Andria's back. So that's what you see.
All right. So Andrea, just so you're aware, we can't talk to the guard that was like there because he's literally working. He's 5 feet away from like the royal dude. But the rude guard knocked into Bullstrong, and pretty sure we knew we were because we're kind of unmistakable. Bullstrong's just got that kind of face. But now he went up to the second floor and like talked to some dude. So now We're going up there. We're gonna go see who he's talking to, and we're gonna investigate.
Yep.
So let's go.
Are Magnus and I around at this point?
I thought you were still talking to the.
That's actually a fair point.
So you and Magnus are like across the ballroom finishing up your conversation with Lady Arabla when this happens.
Okay.
Yes. Let's
Okay.
go up the stairs.
Okay.
Going to Fortuna.
So Amity, Capella, and Bullstrong are going up the stairs. Right?
What could possibly go wrong?
Yes.
So you go up the stairs, and as you're going up, the other guard that you just bumped into is now walking back down. And he looks at you again and sees you, and you just see confusion on his face. Like you could tell he's not saying anything, and he doesn't stop. He keeps walking by on the other side, but he looks at you and he's just he can't figure it out.
Good.
Make an insight check.
Everyone.
The three of you that are walking up the stairs, which all three of you have the worst insight checks.
12?
I'm gonna read my dice.
What does that say? Let me see.
13.
15.
Wow.
Oh, 15.
Yeah.
Bullstrong.
You managed to read it.
Bullstrong, you are particularly attuned to this man, having had confrontations with him.
I know the ins and outs of this man. His
And
mind is my
It
playground.
occurs to you, you remember his name because you remember the guards in your original confrontation talking with each other. You remember his name is Oli.
Ole.
And you see Oli as he's looking at you, with confusion. There's ever so brief of a moment of recognition, but then he keeps walking down the stairs.
So, Oli over there definitely is trying to remember who I am. I can see it in his eyes.
You're unforgettable, Bullstrong.
The height gives it off.
Let's see who he talked to,
I
though.
think it's the chiseled jaw.
Maybe either the Baron's up there or someone else of an important stance was the one he reported to.
What if his little house cat, that little purple dude, what if he's in there?
I don't know. Then we do something. Maybe we'll buy it.
What's his name?
Trickle? Trickle,
Trickle down economics.
Trinnle, something.
So the three of you get to the top of the stairs and you turn the corner and you're walking down the balcony and you see this group of people as you're kind of approaching, and you get closer and you're literally 5 feet away, and you can now hear that they're talking about some festival that's coming up in Zidmare and how they're looking forward to seeing the amazing performance from the horn player that is going to be visiting from Parmia. What do you do? The person that you saw is still turned to the side. You do notice, though, that beneath the silver cape with the black damask intricate weaving, she is wearing all black leather boots and black satin gloves. And you could definitely see now that you're closer and approaching from the side, this is a female. But you also notice that she has a silk black scarf around her face and her head, a complete head scarf. But the part of her face that's exposed, you see her skin is purple. She has very exotic eyes.
I'm gonna push Amity's shoulder and say, "Introduce yourself."
Yeah, I'm gonna push him.
Another introduction. All right. Greetings, I'm Amity.
She turns to look at you, and she doesn't say anything. You see her eyes though, like behind the mask. Her eyes like kind of flickering around, looking at you.
Are you okay?
She nods.
Can you not speak?
She looks to like an elf who's standing next to her, and the elf is like, my lady Damask has taken a vow of silence.
All right.
Wow.
She's not gonna be much help.
Thank you for your time, lady.
And
I want to go to Capella and be like, it
What
didn't
magic
work.
item? Hold on. What magic items are the three of you carrying?
I don't think I have anything.
well, you got this hammer, right?
Oh, Orc Smasher will glow, right?
Yep. What
Yeah.
else? Jennie, what do you have?
I think I don't really think I would have brought anything magic. I don't have, because it would just be like none of my weapons are magic, so, or gems. I left the milk at home, so. I don't know if healing potions count, but.
And Andria, do you have your staff?
Yes.
Okay. So you notice that, like, after the human person or the person next to her tells you about the vow of silence, you notice her eyes flicker briefly to your staff and also to Orc Smasher, like almost as if, without saying anything, she clocked those as magical.
She's eyeing us up for some reason.
That's all. And then she nods, and then she turns back to the circle of people who like begin talking again about the festival, and she just seems to be like sitting there listening to them.
Could I intervene in that conversation, like to get more information about a festival? Maybe it could be helpful to us in the future.
Could you communicate telepathically if you have a vow of silence?
Good question.
You could ask her in her mind.
Intruder mind.
Ask that question.
I really have to. All right. And then I use Awaken Mind, and I say, could you speak in this kind of form?
You hear a voice in your head respond, which you assume is hers. And it says, I would be happy to converse with you like this.
Ah,
Turn to go like it's working. And I can continue like, oh, lovely. Would you like to tell me your name? Start off friendly.
What is your name? Your
Um,
true name?
True name?
What house
Normal.
do you come from?
Valve Numb.
Like,
No
your-
use.
And you have come to the Mantirum to return?
It's in discussion. That's all I can say for that.
Well, welcome back then.
Thank you. But can you tell me your name now?
You may call me Lady Damasks of House Damasks.
All right. Thank you so much. I turn
Okay.
I'll just go back to the my friends.
Back to Areia and Magnus. What do you guys do?
Is there like a ballroom? Like are people like dancing? Is it like a big?
Yeah, it's still packed. I mean, remember that the tieflings, the noble tieflings who have been introducing themselves to Master Azorn were very few in number. Like there were maybe 20 total. And only like 2 purple ones, and then the rest of them were red and blue. And they've all kind of done all of their stuff. And everybody else, like the other 200 people in the ballroom, are jam-packed. There are people dancing. There are people just clustered up talking and mingling. But you guys notice that the line of introduction finally comes to an end. And the spectators all kind of start to clear off and go do other things. You see Master Azorn kind of walks over to the other human guard, who you guys might remember, his name is Rafe. And you notice that he like gestures to the tables full of gifts, and Rafe nods, and then Master Azorn begins walking through the crowd. And as he walks through the crowd, you notice that like people kind of like move out of the way, and he literally starts to walk towards Lady Arlba.
Okay, Agnes, I think I see our chance. Do we want to talk to Rafe? Since
Sure.
he doesn't seem busy.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Wait, but what are we gonna say?
I would like to. Well, we could apologize to him for like almost killing all of them.
Yeah, because
We
we
could-
were actually no, I was pretty aggressive in that. I was gonna say we weren't that aggressive, and I was like, wait, I was. And then,
kind of were, but we could, ask him what he's doing here in service of Azor.
yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not that sorry because I was just trying to save Drizzle.
I'm not either, but I feel like it'll be a good front. Like if
Yeah.
we're like, oh, we're so sorry, blah blah blah.
Yeah, we could say like sorry for the commotion we caused,
Yes,
like
I'm
that
sorry
kind
you
of
felt
thing.
That way.
I'm
I'm sorry,
sorry.
it made you feel bad.
Yeah, we'll do that kind of thing. It'll be great.
Okay.
Okay.
Then we will go find Rafe.
Okay, so you walk up and you see Rafe is basically kind of like reorganizing all the gifts on the table. And you notice that there are a few empty wooden crates that are like below the tables, and he's pulling them out, and inside is like very soft cloth, and he's starting to gently stack things into these wooden crates. So he has his back to you. He doesn't see you guys like you come up.
Okay. Do you want to go first or do I go first?
I'm gonna say you.
Okay, sure. I'll just like kind of clear my throat behind him. I'll be like, excuse me.
He turns and he looks over at you and he's like, yes, what is it? And you notice there's a moment of like trying to figure out if he knows who you are. And then he goes, wait a moment, I know you two. He's
Rafe,
like,
isn't it?
he seems shocked that you remembered his name. He's like, yes, I'm Rafe. What are you doing here?
Oh, we're just here on some personal business, but we couldn't help but notice that you were here and we recognized you, and we wanted to apologize on behalf of the commotion that occurred the last time that we saw you.
Make an insight check.
Okay.
Both of us, or
Sure.
okay.
23.
Dang.
That'll do.
8.
You notice that he seems very nervous. He's like, apology accepted. Things happen. Plus, he looks around and up, and he's like, Oli was being kind of a jerk anyway, so no hard feelings, right?
Of course.
Uh,
If you don't
well-
mind my asking, what are you doing here?
cleaning up all the gifts, packaging them up. Master Azorn leaves for the capital tomorrow, so
Do you work for Master Azor?
well, I work for the Mantirum.
I thought you worked for the Baron.
Right. Yes. Well, he's a diplomat, and I work for the Mantirum. And House Azorn is one of the three upper houses. I mean, the original houses. You notice he still seems very nervous.
Is the Baron here?
Yes, I think so. You
Where?
ever seen him?
No, I think if we saw him, he would be not too pleased to see us.
Right. Yeah, not sure where he is, but there's a lot of people here, so he's probably here somewhere, though, I'm sure. Or maybe he had to leave on business. So I don't really know. You don't
We
need to
roll
roll
insight.
again. You don't need to roll again. Your enormous 23 insight tells you that Rafe is now very nervous and lying to you.
Okay, I'll take one step closer to him and like lower my voice a bit, and I'll be like, Rafe, you seem very nervous. Why are you lying to me? We're not here to cause trouble or harm. We're just trying to converse with you.
Right. There's a lot of people watching, and I can't really talk right now. I'm sorry, really, but I can't really speak to you right now. I've got to get packaging these things.
Could you talk elsewhere?
No, not really, ever. That's not a good idea, and you probably shouldn't be here either. And you should leave the Mantirum as soon as you can.
Why?
And I wish you good luck, but really it's important that I continue packing up these things right now, and you should probably leave soon.
We can't speak with you any other time?
Nope, bad idea. We really shouldn't be talking right now. I'm going to just continue talking to you while I package up these things and pretend like you're not talking to me. And you should probably look in another direction and be talking to yourselves nearby, because if I could get in a lot of trouble, please try to understand this is a matter of my life or my death. And
Okay.
he's like packaging things up.
We
and
don't
his
mean
word is
to.
back to you.
We don't mean to get you in trouble. So I'll turn towards Areia and start like pretending to talk to her nearby, but we'll still be talking to him. And I'll say like, "Are you in immediate danger?"
As long as you're talking to me, I'm probably in very immediate danger. And yes.
Why, if we're talking to you?
Because I don't think that you should trust that you are safe here.
From who? The Baron or
Right. Yes, from the Baron. Exactly. Yes.
or Master Azorn?
Yes. All of the above. Okay. Please now, you should pretend like you're hungry and go get something to eat before anybody sees you talking to me.
What about Lady Arlba?
She's a very fine, noble woman and has really no part in this that I know of. And I'm assuming you are here with her invitation.
Yes.
So there you have it. Yes. Good. Okay.
Why are we in danger? Is there something about us in particular that is...
I believe that you attempted to take something from the Baron when last we met, and he did not appreciate that. Ergo, it is not good to get on the Baron's bad side.
And is the Baron connected with Lord Azon?
Yes. In a manner of speaking, yes.
How connected?
extremely connected. I cannot talk to you now. Excuse me. And then he stops what he's doing and walks away from you guys towards like the servants' entrance, like towards the kitchens.
Okay.
That was weird.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel like the fact that the guy that we stayed with before, not knowing anything about the Baron, and the Baron being connected to this guy is something.
Yeah. This could be. I wonder why we're in. I didn't think we'd be in danger coming here, but I think we need to find this Baron guy then. Because, I mean, I want to get Trizzle anyways, and I mean, if he's already after us, it's better we get the upper hand, right? And we find him before he finds us. And if he's here, then we should go find him.
I think we should be really careful. I think we should find the others first and let them know what we know.
Yeah, not just us two. That'd be a bad idea. But, like, everybody.
You see the other three descending the stairs, and they are kind of coming towards you.
Hi, guys.
Hey, we found the other friendly gentleman from the Baron. We couldn't talk to the first dude at the time because he was working, but we really didn't talk to the other one either. But I think Ollie or whatever, he might remember us. He went to someone up there. This one other tiefling with purple skin with some kind of veil of sense. Lady, what was it? Amity?
Masks.
Lady
Damasks.
Damasks.
Lady Damask
Yes.
from that family. So, that's all we got so far.
So, we learned that we might be in immediate danger.
When are we not?
I mean, that's
No,
fair.
But we talked to Rafe, and basically the Baron's here somewhere. The Baron and Master Arzon are somehow connected, very well connected to each other, and us being here is putting us in immediate danger.
Yep.
Well,
So I think we should find the Baron because he's probably here.
well, what are we gonna do if we find the Baron? He's gonna see us, and if he recognizes literally any of us, he's gonna like have us murdered. Shouldn't we stay away from him at this current time?
He's gonna find us eventually. So maybe not here, but we could at least watch. I could watch the door and see when he's leaving, and after the party, we should confront him because I don't want to. As far as we're aware, Lady Arlba is not a part of this, and I don't want to make her a part of this because she seems like a nice lady. So after the party, I could watch the door and see when he leaves, and then we could follow him. Maybe.
I mean, we could try to get more information about him, but we really should try to avoid confronting him right now anyway because we have no way to, free Trizzle anyway.
I mean,
There's
as you guys are talking about this, one of the you see like a server come up with like a tray of wine glasses and wearing like the servant wear, but it's not a orange or yellow skinned tiefling. It's a human.
Oh.
And he walks up to like just abruptly to you and doesn't say anything and like looks around and is like offers wine to you.
Thank you.
Dude, I'm not gonna drink it.
He looks around. Magnus, you take a wine.
Yeah, I'll take one. I'm not gonna drink it, but I'll take it.
He like does this to you. You look in the wine glass and you see like something's in it, like floating in the wine glass. Like it looks like a little piece of paper that's rolled up.
Oh, okay. I'll take the piece of paper and unroll it.
And you see the server nod and like walk away into the crowd.
Thank you. All right. What's it say?
It says, "Friends, be careful. He knows that you are here."
The Baron probably sees us.
Yeah, he probably knows we're here.
Um,
But who wrote this note?
Probably.
All of a sudden, you hear the sound of a fart, a very loud fart come from Bullstrong.
He's
Nice.
here.
we gotta go.
And you notice the human server with the wine goblets like look back at you and giggle a little bit and wink, and then he walks into the servant kitchen
That's Trizzle.
Yes, it is.
I did
We
not
gotta go.
fart on purpose. This was done to me.
Mhm.
Sure, that's what you always say.
No, I would be proud about my own fart. That was an unconsensual fart.
Yes, it was. And that's where we will end this episode of Medusas. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, for joining us on the live chat. Thanks for bearing with all of our technical issues. Much love to all the patrons and subscribers, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.